Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have been opening every video like this and I'm gonna continue to do so, maybe forever, because like, why not? But I'm hoping that you and your family and your friends and your neighbors and your community, I hope that you're staying safe. I hope that you're staying healthy. I hope that you're doing all the things that we are being told to do to stay safe and healthy, and just know that I am thinking about you guys and that I'm wishing you all the absolute best, and that my heart goes out to everyone who is suffering at all through any of this. And that I am continuing to put out as normal content as possible in hopes that it provides you guys a little bit of a distraction, a little bit of normalcy in the crazy time that we are all living in. And it also, you know, I hope you realize that it provides me that too, because it's like I said, like it's just nice for me to wake up in the morning and put on some makeup. And it's also nice for me to film a video and interact with you guys in the comments and all of that. So hopefully just all around, you know, spreading some good vibes and some positivity out there. And like I said, wishing you guys the absolute best and healthy and safe. That's all we can really ask for. So with that being said, today's video is one of my absolute favorites to film, and seems like one of you guys' absolute favorites to watch, and that is my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. This is a roulette style project pan, so as soon as I hit a pan on an eyeshadow, I roll it out of this project, and it is a random selection to see which eyeshadow is coming in to replace it. And I'm super excited to share with you guys that I've hit pan on 2 eyeshadows this past month, which means that I'll be rolling out 2 eyeshadows and rolling in 2 more, which is always super fun and exciting. I think that's probably my favorite part of these videos, is seeing the new colors that get picked out and how that plays with the colors that are still in the project and all of that. So I'm super excited that I was able to hit pan on 2 more eyeshadows. It's so cool to use eyeshadows that much, to get a really good understanding of them, and also to like see that my collection is being like more loved than it has been in a really long time. So now that the intro is kind of out of the way, if you guys haven't seen any of these videos from me before, I will put a card up above. There is a Pan Those Eyeshadows playlist, so I highly recommend you check it out to see what eyeshadows I've already hit pan on so far. But yeah, we are going to jump right into the numbers. I have my spreadsheet up open on my computer right now, and I will share those numbers with you. In addition to the 2 eyeshadows I hit pan on last month, my numbers also changed because in my March BoxyCharm, I received another palette. I have not been buying any palettes for the sake of this project, but since I've started it, I've gotten 2 in BoxyCharm, which is hilarious to me. But this is the Living Color palette, and these are all the shades, so there's 9 additional shades, so I added them in to my spreadsheet to make sure that we are counting them, but wanted you guys to be aware because you'll see my total number of eyeshadows go up. So for April, I now have a total of 197 eyeshadows, and this is spread across individual shadows, which I have 16 of, and then eyeshadows that are in palettes, which are 181 across 12 different palettes. So out of my 197 eyeshadows, I have hit pan on 10, which bumps my percentage up to 5.07%, even with the addition of 9 more eyeshadows. So last month I had pan on 8 shadows and my percentage was 4.25, and I added 9 more shadows, but we are still moving that percentage up with the 2 new pans, which puts me up at 5.07, which is super exciting. And that leaves us with 187 eyeshadows to choose from to replace the 2 that I'm rolling out. So now that I've got all of that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the good stuff and talk about the eyeshadows. Let's start with the 3 that are still in my project. 2 of them are in my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. The first is the shadow up here in Light, and I definitely have much more of a dip in this one, but to be honest, I'm really just focusing it on my inner corner. The nature of that, it is just going to take longer to use, but it is a beautiful shade. I really like using it. It's really pretty in the inner corners. Sometimes I put it up on my brow bone highlight, but not often. I could probably use this as like a face highlight or something, but I really haven't. I've really just focused that in my inner corner, and I used in Light 14 times this month. And then the next shade in this palette is this shade right here, and it is the shade Jax, and it is this kind of brown rusty red color, and I've been wearing this a lot on my lower lash line. I've also been wearing it in my outer V and the outer crease, and it is a super pretty color. I really like reds and like rusty colors because I feel like it brings out like the more green tones in my eyes, so definitely a favorite of mine, especially smudged along the lower lash line. And I was focusing on one of the other ones that I hit pan on this month, so I didn't use this one as much. I only used it 8 times this month. And then the other eyeshadow that I have not yet hit pan on comes from the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette, and it is the shade Aura in the metallic shade. And I definitely have a dip going in this. I wore this a lot. There's kind of like this like light white with like a hint of pink, or well, probably less pink and more peachy. But I've been wearing this mostly just all over my lid or more towards the inner corner. But it is a super pretty shade, and I definitely have a bit of a dip going in it, which is really exciting to see. So yeah, I am very excited about that. And I wore this shade 15 times this month. I think if I wear this shade around that much in April, I will definitely hit pan. Like, I feel like the dip in this is pretty good. But again, I also have no idea how deep these shades are, so maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like I have a pretty good dip in there, so we'll see. I guess we'll find out next month if I hit pan on it or not. So the next part of the update is actually sharing with you guys the 2 eyeshadows that I hit pan on, which is super exciting. I am so excited to be rolling 2 shades out and being able to roll 2 new ones in. And so the first shade I'm rolling out is from my ABH Jackie Ina palette, and it is this shade right here called Pinker, and there's just a little spot of pan in there, and I loved this shade. I've used it a lot how I've been using the Jax color, and that's like smudged on my lower lash line or in my outer corner, and it's a similar color, but this one's definitely more of a pinky color. So I appreciate that because, like I said, I really like those shades, and this has definitely become like a really like a favorite shade in my collection, to be honest. So I'm glad I hit pan on it for the sake of this project, but I'm actually glad that I'm like not finishing or anything because I really like it and I want to keep it around. But it's super exciting to hit pan on that and be able to move that out of the project and put in something new. And then the next shade that I have hit pan on comes from my Too Faced Everything Nice palette, and it is the shade Dream On right here. And as you can see, there's a pretty good sized pan in it because it only took me 3 times to hit pan, but I've continued to use this like pretty much every time I've worn makeup throughout the month as what I use to set my eyeshadow primer. And so I think I'll probably continue to use this unless I roll in a really similar color, because it's like the perfect color to set my primer with. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it for that. Like, you can barely see it, like it doesn't really show up. So other than setting my primer with it, I don't know what else I'd wear that for. But yeah, I was able to get a pretty big size pan in this. And for the size and the depth of these pans, I'm impressed with that. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably keep wearing that to just set my primer unless I roll in another similar one. So yeah, here we are. Here are the 2 that I'm rolling out. Here are the 3 that are still in the project, and let's add 2 more to this side. Okay, so the rows that are available for shadows are 14 to 200. So I'm putting those numbers in my pretty random app, and then we are going to randomize. So we landed on 170, and 170 comes from my Urban Decay Naked palette, which I've actually already had in this project pan. I hit pan on this shade right here, Sidecar, last month, but the shade for this month is Dark Horse, which I really don't have much of a dip in, and it is actually a pretty dark color. So this will be a little different for this project pan because most of my shadows, I feel like for the past like 3 months, have been very similar. And this one is a little different than what I've been working with, but it is this really pretty like brown, coppery, gold, slightly shimmery color, and it is a lot different than what I've had in these project pans. So that's super exciting because it's something new. I'm gonna have a new color palette on my eyes. So yeah, that is the first one that we are rolling in, and that is Dark Horse from my Urban Decay Naked palette. All right, and then the next one is going to be 80. And that's actually another palette that I've already had in this project pan, and this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, and I hit pan on number 4 because I don't have a clear indication of what the names are in this palette, so I hit pan on number 4, I think in my first update. So I have selected number 14, so that is 1, 2, which is this like coral shade right here, which I am super excited about because that is definitely different than anything I've had thus far. And so that's that shade right here. So my color palette, I feel like, is so different than it has been with adding Dark Horse and number 14 from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Favorites palette. I feel like I definitely have a very new color palette, and I am super excited to see where this goes over the next month. I am not exactly sure how I'm gonna work this. I've been able the past few months to just kind of be able to wear all the shades at once, but this might make that a little bit more difficult. I don't know. I'm gonna have a lot of fun experimenting and just trying shades that I haven't worn. Honestly, I don't think I've ever worn this shade before, and I rarely wear Dark Horse, so that'll be really fun to add those into the mix. I'm so excited. Yeah, and this is the new palette that I am working with. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see the new shades that I've picked out. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see the shades that I've rolled out of this. And yeah, seeing my percentage of pan in my collection go up because of this project is super fun and really, really cool. And yeah, it definitely, like I've said 1,000 times, it really gives you like a much better indication of how long it takes to even hit pan on an eyeshadow, let alone use it up. Like the amount of eyeshadow I have, I could never wear on just my 2 eyes alone and finish it, but it's still fun to buy stuff, so I'm not gonna say like I'm never gonna buy anything again, but it definitely like stops that a little bit. Like I haven't bought any eyeshadows since I started this project, although I've gotten 2 in my BoxyCharms, but I think I'll be a little bit pickier about buying eyeshadow now that I have this knowledge kind of in my back pocket of how long it takes and this whole project. So anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed it, getting to see my new palette that I'm working with, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.